doubt whatever about that. This must be distinctly understood, or no good will come of the story we are about to create. Marley is dead as a doornail. Mind, I don't mean to say that I know of my own knowledge what there is particularly dead about a doornail. I might have been more inclined to regard a coffin nail as the deadest piece of ironmongery in the trade. But the wisdom of our ancestors is in the simile, and my unhallowed hand shall not disturb it. You will therefore permit me to repeat, emphatically, that Marley is dead as a doornail. Scrooge knew he was dead. Of course she did. How could it be otherwise? Scrooge and her were partners for I don't know how many years. Scrooge was his sole executor, his sole administrator, his sole assign, his sole residuary legatee, his sole friend, and his sole mourner. But even Scrooge was not so terribly cut up by the sad event. Being an excellent woman of business, on the very day of the funeral, she solemnized the occasion with an undoubted bargain. Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name, and there it stood years afterwards above the warehouse door, Scrooge and Marley. Once upon a time, of all good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, Scrooge sat busy in her counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather. The city clocks had only just gone 3, and it was quite dark already. It had not been light all day. The fog came pouring in through every chink and keyhole. She was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, Scrooge. A squeezing, clenching, grasping, scraping, covetous old sinner, hard and sharp as a flint, from which no steel had ever struck out generous fire. The cold within her froze her old features, nipped at her pointed nose, shriveled her cheeks, made her eyes red and her thin lips blue, and spoke out shrewdly in her grating voice. She carried her own low temperature about her always. She iced her office in the dog days and didn't thaw it to 1 degree at Christmas.
Merry Christmas, son. God save you.
Ah, humbug.
Christmas, a humbug. You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What right do you have to be happy? You're poor enough.
Well, come then. What right have you to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Merry Christmas. What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying your bills without any money? Time for finding yourself a year older but not an hour richer. Time for balancing your books and finding every item in them dead against you. Bah, humbug.
Don't be cross, aunt.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly in his heart. He should.
Aunt.
Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it. But you don't keep it.
And let me leave it alone. Much good it has done you, much good it will ever do you.
There are many things in which I have derived good, by which I have not profited. I dare say Christmas among them. It's the only time of year I know when men and women can open up their shut-up hearts and think of the less fortunate people as if they really were fellow passengers to the grave, not some other race of creatures. And therefore, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good. And I say, God bless it.
Another sound from you, sir, and you'll be keeping your Christmas by losing your situation. You're quite a powerful speaker, sir. I wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Aunt. Come dine with us tomorrow.
I'd rather dine with the devil first.
But why, Aunt?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love?
Because I fell in love. Good afternoon.
You never came to visit me before I married. Why use that as a reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I am sorry with all my heart to see you so resolute. We have never had a quarrel which I have been a party.
Good
But
afternoon.
I made this visit in homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So, Merry Christmas, Aunt.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year!
Good afternoon. And you. Another fellow, my clerk. The wife and family talking about a Merry Christmas. I'll retire to Bedlam.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing either Scrooge or Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night.
We have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
At this festive time of year, it is more than usually desirable that we make some slight provisions for the poor and destitute who suffer greatly at this present time. Many thousands are in want of common comforts. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common necessities.
Are there no prisons?
Well, plenty of prisons, but
What about the workhouses? Are those still in operation?
yes, but I dearly wish I could say that they were not.
From what you said at first, I thought something had occurred to keep them from their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it.
Under the impression that they scarcely furnish the cheer of mind or body, a group of us are endeavoring a fund to buy the group poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because it is time of all others, when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. You ask me what I wish, and that is my answer. I don't make myself merry at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry either. Those who are badly off must go to the operations that I mentioned above. I support them. It costs enough.
But many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, then they should do it and decrease the surplus population. Besides, I don't know that.
But you might know it.
It's not my business. It's enough for a woman to know her own business without interfering with others. Mine occupies me constantly.
But Mistress Scrooge,
Good afternoon.
I can only say, Mr. Scrooge, that I hope you will consider the spirit of the day and think again. Here is my card.
Bah. Humbug.
Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Don't we never get
Beggars. Pests. You'll be watching all day tomorrow, I suppose.
If it's quite convenient, mistress.
It is not convenient, and it is not fair.
So-
If I was to stop your wages, £0.5, you'd think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound. But you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
Mistress, it's only once a year, and
Bah, humbug. Poor excuse for picking someone's pocket every 25th day of December. I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the early the next morning.
of course, thank you, Mistress. Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge. Humbug.
Scrooge took her melancholy dinner in her usual melancholy tavern, and having read all of the newspapers and beguiled the rest of the evening with her painter's book, went off to bed. Now, it is a fact that there was nothing at all particular about the window next to Scrooge's door, except for the fact that it was very large. Also, that Scrooge had seen it night and morning throughout her entire residence in that place. And let it also be known that Scrooge had as little of what is called fancy about her as any woman in the city of London. Then let any man explain, if he can, how it happened that Scrooge, having her key in the lock of the door, saw a window, not just a window.
Molly! Humbug, it's nothing. It's the wind. It's a humbug still. I won't believe it. How now? What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Barley.
Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it then.
You don't believe in me.
I don't.
What evidence of my reality would you require beyond that of your own senses?
I don't know.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because any little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheats. You might be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, crumb of cheese, a fragment of underdone potato. There's more of gravy than grave about you, whatever you are. Do you see this toothpick?
I do.
You are not looking at it.
I see it. Notwithstanding.
I have but to swallow that and for the rest of my days be persecuted by legions of goblins of my own creation. It's a humbug, I tell you, a humbug. Oh, merciful apparition, why do you trouble me?
You have a worldly mind. Do you believe in me or not?
I do. I must, but why do you walk the earth and why do you come to me?
It is required of every man in life to walk forward among his fellow man, far and wide, to see what he might have shared. If he fails to do so, he is condemned to do so after death, to see what he could have turned into happiness.
You are wrapped in chains. Tell me why.
I wear the chains I forged in life. I made it myself, link by link, yard by yard. I girded it of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it. Is this pattern strange to you?
It is.
Or would you recognize the weight and length of the very coil you bear yourself? It was as full and heavy and as long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago, and you have labored on it since. It has become a ponderous chain.
Oh, Jacob Marley, tell me more. Speak comfort to me.
I have none to give. My time here is short. In life, I never wandered beyond our counting house. My spirit never roved beyond the hole, our money-changing hole. Now weary journeys lie before me.
Must have been slow about it, Jacob.
Slow?
7 years dead and traveling all the time.
Always on the wings of the wind. No rest, no peace. Only incessant torture of remorse.
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance were all my business. The dealings of our trade were just a drop in the comprehensive ocean of our business.
Do not be too hard on me, Jacob.
My time here grows short. And I come to warn you that you have yet a chance to escape my fate. A chance of my procuring, Eliza.
You were always a good friend to me, Jacob. Thank ye.
You shall be visited by 3 spirits.
Is this the chance you mentioned, Jacob?
It is.
I'd rather not.
Without these visits, you have no chance of escaping the path I tread. Look ye down on the people of this city. See your fellow creatures as they go through the streets. Many of them are known to you. You see them every day on the streets, in the markets, at the exchanges. Eyes blind to the crying children, to the misery and inhumanity that surrounds them. But what is this misery once they are gone from this life and their chance at meddling in mortal affairs is gone forever? Not to know that no amount of eternal regret can save their wretched soul. But such are these. Expect the first spirit tomorrow night when the clock strikes 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once, Jacob, and have it over?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. Expect the third the night after that when the last stroke of 12 ceases to vibrate. Look to see me no more, and for your own sake, remember what has passed between us.
1, but it was past 2 when I went to bed. An icicle must have gotten in the works. Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
What is your business?
Your welfare.
I'm much obliged, but I rather think a night of unbroken rest would be more conducive to that end.
Your reclamation, then.
What reclamation is there in the past? I do not want to see it.
Why not?
It is unpleasant to me. No good can come of it.
Take heed. Remember what you have seen already. Rise and walk with me.
I am mortal and likely to fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand, and you shall be upheld in more than this. Is this place familiar to you?
Familiar? I was at school in this place. I was a girl.
These are but shadows of the things that have been. They have no consciousness of us. The school is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by her friends, is left there still.
Poor child.
Eliza, dear sister.
Ben!
Home, Juan? Home, for good and for all. Father showed so much kindness to me one night that I wasn't afraid to ask him once more if he might come. He said, yes, you must. He sent me in a lovely carriage to bring you.
This will be a Merry Christmas, Ben.
A Merry Christmas indeed. We'll be together all Christmas. Let's go get your trunk.
She was a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered.
But she had a large heart.
So she had. She died a woman, and had, as I think, children.
One child.
True. Your nephew.
I wish...
Something the matter?
Nothing particular. There were some children singing Christmas carol outside my door last night. I should like to have given them something. That's all.
Do you recognize this place?
Recognize it? I was apprenticed here.
Oh, there! Liza! Dick!
It's old Fezziwig. Bless his heart. Old Fezziwig, alive again.
No more work tonight. Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas, Eliza. Let's have the place cleared before a man can say, Jack Robinson.
Dick Wilkins, to be sure. Oh, dear, dear. He was very attached to me, was Dick. Poor Dick. Dear, dear.
Hilly-ho! Clear away, my lads, and let's have lots of room here. Hilly-ho! Eliza? Hilly-ho, Dick? My dears, it's Christmas Eve. A toast to that glorious occasion. May tomorrow and the whole of the new year find us merry, content, and above all filled with the happy goodwill of the season to all our fellows. And in honor of the great day, I have engaged the services of the most renowned musician in the city of London. Her nimble tricks over and amongst the keys of that most splendid of instruments are too well known that I should relate them. You all know her. You all know her capacity to raise the spirits of even the most mortuary of countenances. Let's dance!
So full of gratitude.
Small?
Why is it not? He has spent but a few pounds over mortal money, 2 or 3 perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves praise?
It's not that at all, Spirit. He had the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome. The happiness he gave was as great as if it had cost a fortune.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I should have liked to have had a word or two with my clerk just now, that's all.
My dears, the hour grows late. Before we depart, however, Mrs. Fezziwig and I have an announcement of the most auspicious nature.
Spirit, show me no more.
As you know, Mrs. Fezziwig and I have labored many years to raise a most peculiar child.
Are you calling me peculiar, Father?
Yes, the fruits of our labor have been most satisfactory, more than satisfactory. Now, at the dawn of his youth and strength, he has surrendered to the wiles of one of you in this very room, one to whom I have furnished shelter, food, and a warm bed.
May not be peculiar, but she's got a sore back and some aching eyes too, am I right?
Yes, I'll not deny, she's the hardest working apprentice to ever balance a book or close an account. Come this spring, our will shall wed the most industrious of young women, Mistress Eliza Scrooge.
A dance for the young couple!
Spirit, take me home.
It matters little to you. Very little. Another idol has displaced me. If it can cheer and comfort you in times to come, as I would have tried to do, I have no just cause to grieve.
What idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
This is the even-handed dealing of the world. There is nothing as rich or so hard as poverty. There is nothing in which professes to condemn so severely as the pursuit of wealth.
You fear the world too much. All your other hopes have merged into the hope of being beyond the world's reproach. I've seen your nobler aspirations fall off, one by one, until one passion, gain, engrosses you. Have I not?
What then? Even if I've grown so much wiser, what then? I have not changed towards you. Am I?
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so. In good time, we could improve our fortunes. You are changed. When it was made, you were another woman.
I was a girl.
Your own feeling tells you that you are not what you once were. I am. It matters not how often I have thought of you. It only matters that I have and can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
And words, no, never.
And what then?
A changed nature, an altered spirit, and everything that made my love any worth or value in your sight. If we had never had our past, would you seek me out and try to win me now?
You think not?
I would think otherwise if I could. But could I believe that you would choose differently? You, who now weigh everything by gain. Or if you did choose him, could I believe that your regret would surely follow? I do. And release you. With a full heart for the woman you once were. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Go after him, you fool! You fool! Spirit, take me home, leave me, haunt me no longer.
I told you, these are shadows of the things that have been, that they are what they are. Do not blame me.
Haunt me no longer.
As you wish. We left Scrooge in bed, vainly trying to recall and mend her unpleasant past, and wondering what variety of spirits await her in the present future. Women of Scrooge's demeanor pride themselves on being prepared for a good broad field of strange appearances. Now, being prepared for anything, she was by no means prepared for nothing. The clock struck 1, and no shape appeared. 5 minutes? 10 minutes? Yet nothing came.
Enter Eliza Scrooge. Come and know me better, woman. I have the ghost of Christmas presents. Look upon me. You have never seen the likes of me before.
Never.
Never walked forth with the younger members of my family, my brothers, born in these later years.
I'm afraid I have not, Spirit. Have you many brothers?
More than 1,800.
A tremendous family to provide for.
Nor have I ever seen the likes of you. You're so sour. The blood's gone bad in your veins.
Spirit, conduct me where you will. Last night I went forth on compulsion and learned a lesson that is working still. Tonight, if you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Prophet, touch my robe.
Whatever has gotten into your father and your brother, Tiny Tim, and Martha wasn't as late last Christmas by half an hour.
Here's Martha, Mother.
Here's Martha. You're such a goose, Martha.
How late are you, my dear? They're keeping you longer and longer at the milliner's.
We had a tremendous amount of work to finish up last night. They told us to clear away this morning.
Working on Christmas Eve? Well, come, my dear, sit by the fire and have a warm.
Here's Father coming. Hide, Martha, hide.
Where?
Merry Christmas, my dears.
Merry Christmas.
Where's our Martha?
Not coming.
Not coming? Not coming upon Christmas Day?
She had so much work at the milliner's, they sent someone around to tell the family the girls would be staying.
Well, if she feels she must, it hardly seems fair, though, working upon Christmas Day.
I'm here, Father. I can't stand. I'm here, Father. I can't stand being disappointed even for a joke.
Then it will be a Merry Christmas. We are all here together.
Tim, go off to the watch house. The goose will be ready before we know it. And tend to the pudding, Belinda. It mustn't be overdone.
What if it was?
And how did Tim behave at church?
As good as gold and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much, and he thinks of the strangest things. He told me coming out of church that he hoped that people saw him because he was a cripple, and that it might be good for them to remember on Christmas Day who made blind men see and lame men walk. Well, then we galloped over to the shop windows where he gazed for hours upon the toys, and sensing his spirits begin to droop, we trotted right over to Cornhill Street, where in honor of it being Christmas, we went down the hill 20 times.
25.
25, right you are, boy. And all along the way, acquaintances stopped and said that Timothy is looking stronger and heartier every day.
You haven't made your punch yet, Father. It can't be Christmas without your special punch.
Oh, of course, what could I have been thinking to forget that?
Remarkable time, Father.
Well, no man say that old Bob Cratchit couldn't mix his punch with the swiftest of them.
I'll go get the goose.
Sorry I was late to be at the table. I was working in the kitchen. Here's the goose.
What a truly sumptuous looking fowl.
So small a goose for so large a family.
And the pudding? I tell you, Martha, have you ever seen such a one?
Never. The girls at the shop would positively be ashamed to display theirs anywhere in the vicinity.
Here, here. They know.
And you, Master Peter, have you ever set eyes on such a mortal pudding as this?
In all my years of being a Christmas pudding observer, I have never seen a fight.
And that's a high compliment indeed. Give me a higher one, and I will use it. Mrs. Cratchit, I believe that this is the greatest success since our marriage.
Well, it's a great weight off my mind. I don't mind confessing. I had my doubts about the quantity of flour.
Never fear, Mother. It's perfect.
I would like to propose a health. Merry Christmas, my dears, and God bless us.
God bless us. God bless us, everyone.
Tell me, Spirit, will Tiny Tim live?
I see a vacant seat in the porch in the corner, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. These shadows remain unaltered by the future. The child will die.
Kind Spirit, say he will be spared.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, none other of my race will find him. What of it? If you'd like to die, he had better do it and decrease the surplus population. Woman, if only before burial we can to discover what surplus is and where it is. Shall you say what men shall live and what men shall die? It may be that instead of heaven, there are less to live than millions, like this poor man's child.
It may be, Spirit. It may be.
I would like to propose a toast to Mistress Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I'd have her here. I'd give her a piece of my mind and hope she'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
It should be Christmas Day on which we drink a health of such odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling woman as Mistress Scrooge. You know it, Bob. Nobody knows it better than you do.
My dear, Christmas Day.
We'll drink the health for the days and for yours, not for hers. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to her. She'll be very merry and very happy, I'm sure of it. To Mistress Scrooge.
Mistress Scrooge. I wouldn't give a 10 pence for Mistress Scrooge. Either would I.
My dears, have an open heart. I believe that Mistress Scrooge is a great deal less fortunate than we are.
That's impossible.
Not at all. Consider her situation to that of ours. She has no family to gather round, no warmth, no cheer, none but her own voice to listen to and none to answer. I believe that Mistress Scrooge is a great deal less fortunate than we are.
A clerk who makes 15 shillings a week and he calls himself more fortunate than you.
Remembering those who are less fortunate than we are. Let us say grace. Kind Father, bless our home, bless our family, bless our happiness. May we give to all those who need it. Amen.
Amen.
Cannot move within that circle.
Why not, Spirit?
Did you not hear the clerk take the measure of his employer? You are drifting, alone, outside, cannot get in. You have no circle.
There was a time, Spirit, when I had.
How many years ago? That kind spirit has long since withered, and you have cast it from your heart.
I deny it, Spirit. I deny it. If any kindness has withered within me, it has done so of its own accord. I have nothing to do with it. Kindness wishes to wither, it withers.
Have you not seen nor heard? You unrepentant little woman. You have a long journey to make, but a short time in which to make it. Let us see another house in this teeming city.
Okay, does everybody have theirs? Now put it on the end of your nose like this. Okay, ready? Repeat after me. Should be boiled in his own pudding!
Should be boiled in his own pudding!
And be buried with a stake of holly to his heart! He should!
And be buried with a
She's a comical old lady, that's the truth. Though not as pleasant as she might be. However, her offenses carry their own punishment, and I'll have nothing to say against her.
I'm sure she's very rich. At least yours tell me so.
What of that, my dear? Her wealth is of no use to her. She doesn't do any good with it. She doesn't make herself comfortable with it. And she hasn't the satisfaction of thinking she'll benefit us with it.
I have no patience with her.
Oh, I do. I feel sorry for her. I couldn't be angry with her if I tried. Who suffers by her ill whims? Herself. Always. Here she takes it into her head to dislike us and not to come dine with us. What's the consequence? She doesn't lose out on much of a dinner.
I think she loses out on a very good dinner. She does!
Well, I'm glad to hear. I haven't any faith in these young housekeepers. What do you say, Topper?
Well, I'm a widow, and a widow is a wretched outcast who has no right to offer an opinion on the subject.
Do go on, Fred. He never finishes when he begins to say. He's such a ridiculous fellow.
I was only going to say that the consequences of disliking us is that she misses out on a few pleasant moments which could do her no harm. I mean to give her the same chance every year whether she likes it or not. Look, she may rail at Christmas till she dies, but she can't help think better of it if she finds me going there in good humor year after year and saying, "Aunt Scrooge, how are you?" If it only puts her in the mind to give her poor clerk 50 pounds, that's something. And I think I shook her yesterday.
Well, from what I've heard, I don't see where there's any chance of you shaking your Aunt Scrooge than there is of shaking the Rock of Gibraltar.
Less, I should say.
Now, I seem to recall, my dear Fred, that you promised a song would issue from the lovely throat of our hostess. Am I correct, or am I mistaken?
Not mistaken at all. On your behalf, my dear, I pledge that you would sing us a song befitting the season.
You did?
I had to. It was the only course of preventing Topper from playing that violin. And
If you don't sing, we'll have to put this little warbler into the field. And I say we might have cause to regret that.
I'm a very fine singer. I sing solos in church.
In church? Well, would you consider a duet?
Well, yeah.
I will. Well, all things.
Absolutely.
To rescue Fred's honor. I know. The one Fred taught by his mother.
Ah, the first Noel. You know that one, Topper.
I know them all. The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was
so deep. Noel, 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 Noel. Born is the King of Israel.
I must commend your choice of songbirds, my dear Freddie. Whatever net did you use to catch her?
My dear Tucker, whatever did you think he caught me?
Game's in order, I believe.
A king. Blind man.
Blind man's boat. An excellent idea.
I volunteer.
Oh, no. I volunteer. In fact, I insist.
Your every wish, my dear Topper. Now, where is that plastered handkerchief?
she wasn't. She knew who I was all along. Spirit. Cheater.
Another game.
Another one? Oh, let's get down.
A word game then.
My time grows short.
But there's another game. Spirit, one more game.
If you wish, we don't find this one as amusing.
Okay, this game is called Yes or No. So I think of something, and you have to guess what it is by asking me questions whether I can either answer it yes or no. All right. All right, I have it.
Well, what is it?
Is it a living thing?
Yes.
Oh, is it an animal?
Yes.
Is it a tame animal?
It's rather disagreeable.
Oh, is it savage then?
Yes. Fierce.
Does it make a noise?
Yes.
Does it bark?
In my opinion, no, but some may differ on that point.
Does it meow?
Definitely not.
That rules out the cats.
Oh, does it howl?
No, not style.
Does it growl?
Or grunt?
I'd say it does both.
Oh, he's got him stumped. Boy, friend, he's brilliant, sharp as a needle.
Is it a bear?
No.
Does it live in the jungle?
No.
Does it live in a zoo?
No. Well, I don't think of it as a zoo.
Well, what does that mean? He doesn't think of it as a zoo?
It must be a city then. Is it a city?
Yes!
Clever, but not clever enough for my boy Fred.
It must be London.
Yes!
Okay.
Does it walk the street?
Yes!
Does anyone lead it?
Not that I've ever known. Heavens, no.
Then not a dog or a horse. Is it a person?
Is it sold in the market?
No, but it's found near the exchange.
What sort of animal is found near the exchange?
Is it a sociable creature?
Most unsociable.
Does it live among others of its kind?
It positively despises its kind.
Well, is it an ant?
No.
Well, it grunts and growls. It lives in London. It walks the streets. It's disagreeable and unsociable.
I know it.
I found it out, Fred. I know what it is. I know.
It's
what
the
it
tax
is.
collector.
It's your Aunt Scrooge.
Well, if that's the case, then your reply to the question, is it a bear, ought to have been yes.
But she's not a bear.
No, but your answer deferred us from her.
Look, she has given us plenty of merriment, I'm sure. It would be rude not to drink her health. I say, Aunt Scrooge!
Aunt Scrooge!
You seem to be a source of much merriment.
Yes, for others. Spirit, your hair is gray. Tell me, are Spirit's lives so brief?
My life upon this globe is very short. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
At midnight. Time grows near.
What is this place?
Children are buried here.
Children?
There's a primary requirement for admittance that they must be under the age of 10.
But these children die.
Of true cruel contact with the world. Of cold. Of poverty. Of hunger. Of the ruthless neglect of comfortable thousands.
They are buried so closely, they are almost one on top of the other.
A common occurrence when the numbers are so great, each child, so small.
How did so many come to end here and end so soon?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Spirit, don't leave me in this place. Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come? You are about to show me shadows of things that have not yet happened, but will happen in the time before us. Is that so, Spirit? Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any specter I have seen. But as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to be another woman than I was, I shall bear you company. Will you not speak to me? Lead on. Time is waning fast and its moments are precious to me. Lead on.
Have you heard the news?
Indeed, I have.
Do you know when she died?
Last night, I believe.
Why, whatever was the matter with her? I thought she'd never die.
Well, I haven't heard what she's done with her money. Left it to her company, perhaps. She hasn't left it to me. That's all I know. It's likely to be a very small funeral, for upon my life, I don't know of anybody going to it. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer.
I don't mind going. If a lunch is provided, I'll make the pilgrimage, but I must be fed.
Well, then I must be the most disinterested, because I never attend funerals and I never eat lunch. But I'll go if you will. Come to think of it, I'm not sure I wasn't her most particular friend. He'd always stop and speak whenever we met. Well, what time is it? Don't want to miss the lunch trading.
No.
My Spirit, this is the exchange, and those are men of business, very wealthy and very important. They are my very good friends, for I always make a point of standing well in their esteem. But this is the exchange, and those are my associates. Then where am I? This is my corner, and this is most certainly my time of day. Spirit, I have been revolving in my mind a change of life. Could this be the outcome?
Darn.
Let the charwoman alone be first, the laundress be second, and the undertaker be third.
Hi there.
Look here, old Joe, here's a chance. If we have the offering met here without meaning it.
Well, we couldn't have met in a better place. We're all well suited to our calling and evenly matched indeed.
What odds then? What odds, Miss Silver? Every person has a right to take care of herself. She always did.
That's true indeed. No woman more so.
Well, then don't stand around and think you was afraid, woman. Who's wiser? We're not going to pick holes in each other's coats, I suppose.
No, indeed.
I should hope not.
Very well then, that's enough. Who's the worse for a loss of a few things like these? Not a dead woman, I suppose.
Not her. True enough, if she wanted to dispose of them after she was dead, why wasn't she natural in her lifetime? If she had been, maybe she'd have somebody to take care of her instead of gasping out her last there alone.
It's the truest word ever spoke. It's a judgment on her, the wicked old shrew.
And I wish it would have been a heavier one. And it would have been too if I laid me hands on anything else. Examine that bundle, Joe, and let me know the value of it. Speak out plain. I'm not afraid to be the first, nor afraid to let them to see it. We all knew pretty well that we were helping ourselves before we met here, I promise you. It's no sin. Examine that bundle, Joe.
No, my dear, you mustn't. Joe, appraise my lot first.
That's what I've admired about you all these years. Always the gentlewoman.
Why, these are original. Yes, I say, I haven't seen the likes of these in half an hour. Here's your account. I wouldn't give you another sixpence if I were to be boiled for not doing it.
Why you...
Oh, don't you start nothing, old woman.
Hags!
Who's next?
I'll be next. Them nice items barely used. Don't suppose she ate off them much. Probably thought they was too valuable to go off against rubbing her tongue.
2 shillings.
Worth twice that much.
Oh, now these ain't bad. Rather handsome. Oh, but they're a mite bit thin. 4 shillings.
I pay a high price for them boots. Boots is precious these days.
Oh, Mrs. Dilber, please, I'm just a poor old man trying to survive me retirement. Oh, well, this looks sturdy. Could last another winter. Oh, but it's not in style. I'll have to knock off for that.
What you're being so pinch-fisted about? You're a regular miser as bad as she. No one cares a penny for the style.
Oh, here you go, Mrs. Dilber. I always pay way too much to the ladies. It's my weakness, and it'll be my ruin. And if you ask for another penny, I'll knock off half a crown.
What?
Oh.
Examine me bundle, Joe.
What do we have here? Her coverlet?
Her coverlet.
You don't mean to say you pulled it right off her bed while she was lying there?
I do, why not?
Oh, you were bound to make ye fortune, and you certainly will.
I shan't hold my hand when I can get anything from it by reaching out, especially for the sake of such a woman as she was. She ain't likely to take hold without it, I dare say.
I hope she didn't die of anything catchy.
Don't be afraid of it. I ain't so fond of her company that I'd loiter about her if she did. You can look at that shirt till your eyes pop out, but you won't find a single hole, nor a threadbare place. Best one she had, and a fine one too. They haven't wasted it if it hadn't been for me.
What do you mean, wasted it?
Putting it on her to be buried in. Someone was fool enough to do that? But I took it right off her again. Her calico ain't good for such a purpose. It ain't good for nothing. It's quite as becoming to the body. She can't look any uglier than she did in that one.
You are a rare one. A rare one indeed. Now, what do we have here?
That's the prize of it all, you see. Wrapped in a piece of paper, found under a pile of old ledgers, in the bottom of a trunk.
What do you suppose she was doing with this? You think some gent gave it to her?
She was just like the Undertaker said, unnatural from first to last.
Well, it's a valuable piece, and it'll fetch a pretty penny and keep old Joseph fed for a month.
This is the end of it, you see. She frightened everyone away from her when she was alive, only to profit us when she was dead.
Spirit, I see the case of this unhappy woman might be my own. It tends that way. Merciful heavens, was this woman those scavengers plundered her belongings? Spirit, this is a fearful place. I'm leaving it. I will not leave its lesson. Let us go. I would do it if I could. I understand, but I have not the power. I have not the power. Surely there is one man or one woman or one child to say a kindly word about her. Show me that person, Spirit, I beseech you. Let me see some tenderness connected with her death, or this dark chamber will be present to me forever.
The light hurts my eyes working by candlelight. I would show weak eyes to your father, or the world. It must be near his time.
Faster, rather, but he has walked slower these past few nights.
With Tim on his shoulder, he used to walk very fast indeed.
He'd run nearly.
He galloped.
But Tim was so light, and your father loved him, so it was no bother. Here's your father at the door.
Merry Christmas, my dears.
Merry Christmas.
The goose smells delicious. Belinda, did you help your mother with the pudding?
She made the pudding.
By myself. I did.
No. You'll have your own bakery shop before you know it.
You were gone a long time, Bob.
Yes, I took the long way. It would do you good to see how green a place is, even this time of the year. And I told them we'd walk there often of a Sunday.
I'll go later, when the weather works.
I should be making my punch.
It's already made, Father. I wanted to save you the trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble. It's one of my greatest pleasures this time of the year. And it is the best time of the year. Am I right? Am I right, Peter?
Yes, Father.
Of course. You'll never guess who I saw on the street today. Mr. Scrooge's nephew. I only see him about once a year, you know, and he spoke to me as if we were the oldest of friends and on the most intimate of terms. And he said he had heard about our distress. And he said, I am deeply sorry for your family and for your good wife. By the by, how he knew that, I don't know.
Knew what, dear?
Why, that you were a good wife.
Everybody knows that.
Right you are, my boy. I certainly hope they do. Deeply sorry for your good wife. Well, I would like to propose a health. Merry Christmas. And a poor boy. Poor boy.
Tell me, Spirit, is there a reason the boy had to die? I know not how, but something informs me that our parting moment is at hand. Tell me, Spirit, who was that woman we saw lying dead? am not the woman that I was, and I will not be the woman that I have been. Spirit, hear me. Why show me all of this if I am past all hope? Spirit, you pity me. A churchyard? Before I draw nearer, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of things that will be, or are they the shadows of things that may be only? No. Spirit. No! I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past and the present and the future. The spirit of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons they have taught me. Tell me, Spirit, that I may smudge away the writing on this stone. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The past, the present, and the future. The past, present, and the I'm alive. I'm alive. And this bed is my own. And this room is my own. And the time before me is my own. The ghost has spared me. I knew it. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. Oh, heaven and Christmas time be praised. Oh, Jacob Marley, I say it on my knees, on my knees. I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolgirl. I'm as giddy as a drunken man. I can't believe it. Here's the fireplace where the ghost of Max entered. And there's the door where old Jacob Marley entered. And here's the corner where the ghost of Christmas past stood. It's all right. It all happened. It's all wonderful. I don't know anything at all. Never mind, I don't care. I'm rather like a baby. I would rather be a baby. Glorious! Glorious! Hello! Hello there! What's today? What's today, my fine fellow?
Today? Why it's Christmas Day?
It's Christmas Day? I haven't missed it. This ghost have done it all in one night. Well, of course they can. They can do anything they like. Oh, hello there, my fine fellow.
Hello?
Do you know the poulterers on the next street but one? The one at the corner.
I should hope I did.
A remarkable boy. An intelligent boy. Do you know if they still have the prize turkey hanging there? Not the little prize turkey, the big one.
What, the one as big as me?
Oh, the delightful boy. It is a pleasure speaking with him. Yes, my buck.
It's hanging there now.
Is it? Go and buy it.
Go buy it yourself.
I'm serious. Go and buy it. Tell the man to bring it round here and I'll give them direction where to take it. Come back with the man and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with the man in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you half a crown.
God.
I'll have it sent to Bob Cratchit's. He shan't know who sent it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. 4 times the size of Tiny Tim. Hello, my dear sir and madam. Good to see you both. I hope you were successful yesterday. Very kind of you. A wonderful gesture. Merry Christmas to you both.
Mistress.
Yes, that is my name. I fear it may be unpleasant to you. Allow me to ask your pardon. And will you do me the goodness?
Lord bless me! Are you serious, Mistress Scrooge?
Not a farthing less, if you please. There are a great many back payments included in it, I assure you. You will do me that favor.
My dear madam, I don't know what to say to such generosity.
Don't say anything. Come and see me. Will you come and see me?
Yes, of course, Mistress Scrooge.
I thank
Untitled,
you.
we both will.
I thank you 50 times. Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scrooge went to church, and she walked about the streets and patted children on the head. She never dreamed that anything could give her so much happiness. In the afternoon, she turned her steps towards her nephew's house. She passed the door a dozen times before she had the courage to go up and knock.
Fred?
Aunt Scrooge. It's Aunt Scrooge! It's Aunt Scrooge!
Let her in. It's a mercy he didn't shake her arm right off. She was at home in 5 minutes. Her niece looked just the same. So did Topper, so did the sister. Wonderful party, wonderful games, wonderful unanimity, wonderful happiness. But she was early at the office the next morning. If she could only be there first to catch Bob Cratchit coming late. This was the thing she had her heart set upon. But 5 minutes passed, and no Bob. 10 minutes passed, and no Bob. A quarter of an hour went by. He was a full 18 minutes behind his time.
Good morning, Mr. Scrooge.
Good morning, Mistress Scrooge. What do you mean coming in here this time of the day?
I'm sorry, I'm a little behind on my time.
I should say so. Step this way, if you please, sir. Well, I'll tell you, my good friend, I am not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, I am about to raise your salary. Merry Christmas, Bob. A merrier Christmas than I've given you in many a year. I am going to raise your salary, and then I shall endeavor to help your family. We'll talk about it this afternoon over a Christmas bowl of your special punch. Make up the fire. And go and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Yes, of course, Mr. Scrooge. Thank you, Mr. Scrooge. Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Oh, Jacob Marley, I shall remember you as long as I live. What a wonderful gift. Merry Christmas, Jacob, wherever you are.
Better than her word. She did it all and indefinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, she was a second mother. She became as good a friend, as good a mistress, and as good a woman as the good old city knew. Some people laughed to see the alteration in her, but she let them laugh and paid them no heed. For she knew that she was wise enough to know that her Maker, and ours too, gave her that memory with a very specific purpose.